Wherapy. Therapy wherever, whenever.
So, before I continue with the podcast, let me introduce the second country in this week's Therapy World Tour, and that is Iran. A lot of things going on over there right now. If you're from Iran and you live in a different country, or you're from Iran and you live in Iran, please send me a DM, and you might be the person that I have one free therapy session with. So get in contact with me, DM or email info@wherapy.com. And the next thing that I want to talk about, in the last part of the video, I talked a little bit about bitterness and feeling overwhelmed at not being enough. And that spills over into marital problems, and that's what we're talking about now. Our 30s are riddled with marital problems, specifically relating to sex. And now this sounds a lot like we're talking about a couple that has an infant child. I realize that as I'm speaking. But since most people have start to have children in their 30s, then that's where these issues arise. But children and our commitment to them, especially infant children, but also older children, means that we don't have that energy that we used to. And it feels like it leads to us having less sex. And some people are more accepting of that than others. A lot of people have a naturally low sex drive. This is something that a lot of relationship problems start. This is one key aspect that can lead to a lot of relationship problems, is if our sex drive is different. And our sex drives vary throughout our lives, but they also vary from person to person. So if you're a couple and you both have low sex drives and you're accepting of that, then this period of your life is gonna just like putter along quite well. But if somebody has a stronger sex drive than somebody else, then it's going to lead to quite a lot of friction. And in our 30s, it is, I have no science to back this up and no data, so I'm just speculating here, but most men seem to have a higher sex drive, from what is reported at least, in our 30s. And women, if they have given birth, a lot of the time the sex drive plummets. One, because of the physical toll that pregnancy and birthing a child has on the body, and two, because of some animosity towards the man, because the man doesn't have to go through that part, and the man, how much they help, like, no matter how much they help, the man is almost unable to reach an even amount of work when it comes to child rearing as the mother, because the child craves more from the mother. The child is more connected to the mother, especially during the first 2 years. That's fact, based on psychological findings that I've learned a lot about during my university. I don't know who it was, but we studied a lot about attachment theory, and a lot of studies back that up. So the mother is aware that she can't escape her duties to this person. She is a slave to her child, and the father can help her out, but can't help her out as much, can't help her out enough for her to be able to escape for a little bit of time. And that feeling of not being able to escape is what creates the bitterness and the anger towards the man. And subconsciously they can withhold sex because of this. Because they feel like, oh, now I've been offering my body, my mind, and my soul to this child for the whole day, and you're just coming home from work and expecting me to offer it to you as well. Hell no. Shop is closed. Get out of here. And that obviously leads to some conflict between the pair. And during the first 2 years of life, the man, since they're unable to reach an even amount of workload when it comes to child rearing, the man has to kind of think differently. In this case, they have to be the one who supports the wife and helps with the emotional, but also the logistical and other things that the wife needs. So and kind of doing that and making sure that happens consistently will work against these issues. But a lot of marital problems arise around sex, and a lot of drastic changes in our sex drives arise as a result of a new child being born into the family, and that usually happens in our 30s. That's why it's a common life problem in our 30s.